Hello! Today I'm going to be talking about 3 fun ways to practice the language you're learning. Generally, I would suggest that you do this like with actually studying, but you can actually do these alone half the time. I know a lot of people who've just learned things. I'm also not going to go over the basic ones, which is like watch dramas, watch TV, watch movies, stuff like that. Also, I am learning Korean, so I might use that throughout the video and mostly focus on that. So the third tip number 3, is to play games in your target language. So I enjoy playing games, but I enjoy like more laid back games, more strategy, or like things that just generally take longer and aren't set rounds. So in October, October of 2015, I started learning French because I had been on the French server of a game I liked, Horse, and I hadn't talked to anybody for a month. I hadn't talked to anybody on the game for a month, and this is a very big player game, and I really love talking to people, but I don't speak French. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to use the little bits of French I know because, I've heard the language a little bit just growing up in the US, you see a lot of French materials everywhere. People trying to learn French because it's the Romance language, and just hearing random phrases every now and then because it's just kind of a popular language. So I started learning French by messaging people in French with Google Translate and my terrible understanding of French. I didn't learn grammar this way. I did sort of learn sentence structure a little bit. Like I learned instead of black cat, you would say cat black. Um, so yeah, I did learn things from this, but not very heavy grammar. I definitely didn't learn pronunciation, but by the end of it, I was very comfortable talking in the language. Even though I was going to make a bunch of mistakes, I was very comfortable with that. I was comfortable writing. I was comfortable just conversing with people. And by the time I got to college the next year, I started in my French class. I was very outgoing. Any written exam I was not nervous at all on the exams because I had already done this kind of stuff a lot. And I didn't test into a higher grade. I just started with elementary. So there were a lot of words that I already knew. And the grammar was already like familiar to me. I didn't know it per se, but like just writing in it was comfortable. So, first one is play games. And my friend also did this with Korean. She would play Pokemon in Korean for new vocabulary, and yeah, normally she would translate it if she didn't know a word, but like this helped her soak in new vocabulary that she wasn't getting from class, stuff she might use more because she's actually a gamer and she wants to talk about games in Korean. Number 2 is to learn a new skill. So pick a skill that you already enjoy or know that you want to start, and then probably go to YouTube and look for material in that language. So for me, I like cooking, and almost every language I start learning, I will watch cooking YouTube videos in a different language. So I've done this with some Japanese recipes, but I don't fully understand Japanese, so I normally have the CCs on. I've done this with back when I was learning French. I decided I wanted to learn how to make macarons as well, and I looked up macaron recette on YouTube, and that was probably terrible pronunciation, but well, yeah, just skip over that. And I'd also learned how to make pain perdu. I learned how to make hot chocolate. Um, I think I also learned how to make overnight oats, but I'm not actually sure on that one. That might have been a dream. Uh, I did this in Korean with japchae and hobokjuk, and I did a lot of Korean ones. I don't remember them all. Oh, I don't remember what it's called, but like green plum juice. Green plum juice is amazing. And if you ever come to Korea in like fall, you definitely have to find a place that is like selling it or something cuz it's so good. Okay. Off of that side note, we're going to go to tip number 1, which is to talk to your TV show, book, or favorite characters in your target language. I learned this one from my sister. We used to watch Korean dramas together, and she was learning Korean, so she would, if anything happened, and if anyone was being dumb, she would start yelling at them things like, "No, 왜 이렇게 바보냐?" 뇌가 없는 것 같다. And 내 위자가 너보다 똑똑해. And just nonsense stuff like that. Not all of it was correct. She probably made a bunch of mistakes, but she also wasn't afraid conversing with people as much. Although she is introverted, so like it didn't help with that part of it. But once you get her talking, she was so much more comfortable speaking in the language. So there is that. I started doing this too with things like, oh my gosh, Legend of the Blue Sea. There were so many things at the end of that where I just like I couldn't help but burst out with like rage and I started scolding the characters. Of course, you can also do this with polite words, because we want to be polite people and use the language politely sometimes. Um, so you so say you have a favorite character in your show or a bias in your whichever type of music you listen to, like whichever band, you can start showering them with words of affection and tell them exactly what you love about them, or try describing your favorite food to them, like just whatever, just random stuff. Just talking to inanimate objects is also good. So like telling telling your chair to stay, like if it's rocking chair, maybe. Anyway, that's it for all of my 3 tips for enjoyably learning a language. I definitely have more tips than this. It's just I wanted to leave these 3 with you because I think they're really important to just like when you just start learning a language, they're very good. Let me know what you thought in the comments. If you have any special tips or if you have any advice, let me know. Thank you. Bye.